Let me take you to one of the oldest archaeological sites in India, the Bhimbetka Caves in Madhya Pradesh. It is a group of rocks and shelters where ancient cavemen lived. It is a rare glimpse of the life of India's prehistoric cavemen. It contains one of the oldest representation of art anywhere in the Indian subcontinent. To make sense of how old the cave paintings here are, it is 2 times older than the Indus Valley civilization. The site occupies 1,892 hectares of land inside the Raisan district of Madhya Pradesh, right in the middle of India. Bhimbetka is a microcosm, a living site, set in its natural environment and yet it's in pristine state. Its vast and variegated content provides great potential for comprehending the dynamics of early settlements of man. Archaeological evidences show an undisturbed continuous sequence of cultures through the layers from the Paleolithic to the historic periods. And on the visible surface, a rich profusion of paintings from the Mesolithic to the medieval. Of the numerous shelters, what you see now is the Auditorium Cave. It's surrounded by quartzine towers which are visible from several kilometers. The Auditorium Rock is the largest shelter at Bhimbetka. It is also dubbed as Chief Rock or King's Rock, although there is no evidence as such of a chief or a king who lived here. The Auditorium Cave is a central feature in Bhimbetka. It might have been used as a place for gathering. There are some suggestions which say that this looks like a Gothic cathedral, but those claims might be further from the truth. There are 2 perennial rivers which have been the main source of water for the region, the Narmada and the Betwa. Despite their obvious importance, the Bhimbetka rock art sites did not attract scientific attention before 1957. Dr. Vishnu Sridhar Vatkankar, their discoverer, used to say that when traveling along the hills on a train, he noticed the spectacular sandstone rock formations along the ridge. He got fascinated by them, by the surrounding landscapes. He got down from the train to explore and thus discovered Bhimbetka. From that momentous time, he started studying the numerous painted shelters and he never stopped until his death in 1988. People who lived here had a hunter-gatherer lifestyle, and some of these shelters were inhabited for more than 100,000 years. There are several paintings inside the Auditorium Cave, and these are among them. Few hands, few people, cows, antelopes, peacock, rhinos are some of the themes of the paintings here. Although it looks intact, these paintings are thousands of years old. They represent the early hunter-gatherer lifestyle of the people who lived here thousands of years ago. The Auditorium Cave is in the middle of several other caves in Bhimbetka, which are spread over few kilometers in either side. Its ceiling is very high up in the above, making it look like a very large cave. The center of the Auditorium Cave has this rock with strange round depressions. These artificially made depressions are the oldest art anywhere in India. These are called as cuplies and they were found all around the world. These cuplies belong to the lower Paleolithic period, which are much older than the paintings here. These depressions may have been made by some other stone tools. Metals were discovered long time after these were made. Near to it, there is this excavated pit where there was a burial. It is from the Upper Paleolithic period. The practice of burying the dead was there in Bhimbetka times. It had a long bone pendant on the neck, most probably painted before the burial. A rubbed fragment of an iron oxide ore called as hematite and the stone on which the color had been prepared was there next to the skeleton. A stone alignment protected the body. There were other burials as well, and these show some kind of a ritual which happened during the time of burial. The people in Bhimbetka may have had a sense of rebirth which provoked them to do such kind of rituals. There is another cave just near to the Auditorium Cave where excavations have been made for 8 layers which denote the timeline of Bhimbetka. Several stone tools of different period have been excavated all around Bhimbetka. Just above the excavation, you can see 2 beautiful paintings of elephants and a man standing near a deer. Occupants of Bhimbetka have been painting these walls continuously for at least 10,000 years. Hence, some of the paintings are very old and some of them are recent as 700 years old. Recently, an extraordinary discovery has been made in the ceiling of Auditorium Cave. Some tourists discovered a fossil of an animal called Dickinsonia which lived more than 541 million years ago. The fossils are popular in Australia's Ediacara Hills. Dickinsonia was one of the first animals to move. Before Dickinsonia, there were animals which sticked to one place. The evolution of locomotion started with animals like Dickinsonia. Finding it in India's Madhya Pradesh tells a lot about the geology of this place. Even though today it is several meters above sea level, this sandstone formation was once the bottom of the seafloor. Dickinsonia lived during that time period where this portion of the earth was in the bottom of the seafloor. Not only Madhya Pradesh, the entire Deccan Plateau was the bottom of the seafloor around 500 million years ago. Later, due to tectonic activities, these became land and a major portion became India today. Around 40 kilometers from Bhimbetka is a place called Hathnora where the Narmada man fossil was found. It is of Homo erectus who lived more than 200,000 years ago. Bhimbetka was part of a large complex. Here you see the center portion denoted is the core area and there are other sites outside as well. Even outside Bhimbetka near it, there are 39 more sites which have cave paintings. The pathways denoted here shows the 15 sites which are open to public in Bhimbetka. Less than 20 sites available for the public to view. And this map shows Madhya Pradesh and the list of cave paintings available all over Madhya Pradesh. Thus, Bhimbetka contribute to one of the largest collection of Paleolithic rock shelters in the world. An even larger and older cluster of rock shelters is found in Haryana's Mangar, Bani. It is considered as the largest Paleolithic rock shelter in the world, and thus India as a whole contribute one of the largest collection of rock shelters in the world. Rock paintings are found all over India. It is even found in India's southernmost state of Tamil Nadu, in places like Kilwale. This denotes the vast amount of people who lived all over India throughout the Stone Age. Hence, it's not a surprise that people in India say that humans originated in India. Though our origin is from Africa, cultures and traditions have been here for a huge amount of time. These are the houses of the tribal people who live around Bhimbetka, who still practice very ancient culture. These tribes are called the Gons, the Paradans and the Korkus. The paintings may have been made with 3 different techniques. Mixing the color with a lot of water to be thin, it's called the transparent technique. Mixing the pigment possibly of several colors with water, which is the opaque technique. Applying the pigment directly on the wall as with a crayon, the crayon technique. These cave-like structured rocks may be natural but eventually sculpted by the Stone Age people. This cave in particular has 2 window-like appearances inside it. People may have slept here, covered the openings with leather curtains, and these are called as the rock shelters. They have painted in the internal walls of these cave shelters. Some of them are very hard to reach high up in the above. Some of them are easily accessible. This painting has a parade of humans going in horses, probably late in the Bhimbetka's time period, maybe showing a victory or going to a hunt. This is one of the largest painting in Bhimbetka. You can see a bison attacking a person. It is in the outside walls of a rock shelter. Most of the paintings in the outside walls of the rock shelters have corroded away by the natural elements such as rain, wind and sunlight. The paintings in the inner walls have been preserved for thousands of years. It shows a rare glimpse on the life of those ancient Stone Age people. Prehistoric Stone Age paintings are found all around the world. Some of the oldest were found in Iran, Philippines and Australia. Who knows, maybe India might house one of the oldest painting as well. Finding the age of these paintings is tough and challenging. Sometimes the same wall is used by several painters, one painting above a previously existing one. Paintings in world famous caves such as Lascaux in France and Chauvet in Spain were not open to visitors. Only replicas of them are open to visitors. Due to tourist pollution, these paintings could get damaged. Even the breath of human air can contain some fungal infection which could destroy these paintings. However, Archaeological Survey of India has opened 15 to 20 caves for public. The rest of it closed to the public view. I am lucky enough to see these paintings directly. Meanwhile, a like to this video will be very good. Share to your friends and subscribe to my channel. This is a cave where someone can only crawl into it, but the ceiling is filled with paintings. You can see many of them are getting corroded away day by day. However, all of these are well documented and studied. Some of the paintings here are as recent as 700 years old. Bhimbetka has a continuous painting culture from Upper Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic to the Indian historic period such as Ashoka's period all the way till the medieval times. People were painting here until the medieval times. There is a continuous occupancy of painting culture for nearly 10,000 years. From the hunter-gatherer lifestyle to human conflicts all the way till religious symbols and few ancient Indian Brahmi scripts were all part of these rock shelters. This concave-like rock structure houses numerous paintings. Some of the oldest paintings in Bhimbetka were also in this particular wall. It contains several cattle, cows, bisons, deers, rhinoceros, elephants, and also several humans were pictured in this particular rock. Many of the animals represented here, such as the Indian lion, the Indian elephant, the Indian rhinoceros, the wild buffalo, and Gar, the Indian bison, were all long extinct from the Rattapani Wildlife Sanctuary, which Bhimbetka rock shelters are part of. Hence, not only the Archaeological Survey of India, Indian Forest Department also protects these monuments as a part of Rattapani Wildlife Sanctuary. There are over 243 rock shelters in Bhimbetka and 133 of them were painted. Outside Bhimbetka, there are 39 other sites, which makes a total of 725 rock shelters in and around Bhimbetka. Many of them were painted. Some items of portable art such as decorated shells, worked bones and pendants made of antlers were discovered from several sites here. Snails and shells were associated with various human remains, perhaps offering to the dead. Some of the painted shelters are still regarded as sacred by local Hindu villages, including the tribes of Gonds and Korku, who go to them on special occasions in order to perform special rituals and ceremonies. From local testimonies, a few decades back, Gonds and Korkus used to come to the Bhimbetka shelters to do the same. The name Bhimbetka literally means Bhima's sitting place, which is attributed to Bhima, who is one of the iconic characters in the Indian ancient classical epic of Mahabharata. Bhim is often considered as kind of a Hulk in Indian culture. With me in this trip, it is accompanied by two of my friends, Madan and Vinod. Vinod is the one who took many of these videos using his GoPro, which made this video documentary possible. Bhimbetka rock shelters are in proximity with the city of Bhopal. Hence, it attracts lots of tourists.
I have started the camera. This is some rocks, man. We'll go inside and then we'll come and we'll focus on these things.
Okay. Across 750 shelters, 500 are adorned with paintings.
We need to spray water to see the cave paintings, bro. Do you remember we went to that place? Kilwale. There we added some water. In Kumbakonam, sorry, not in Kumbakonam, that Viluppuram district, Tiruvannamalai. Hey, majestic, man. Caves are really good. Auditorium number 3. See how majestic it is, man. Come, let's we'll go inside.
We'll see the description, then we'll come to it.
Yeah, first we'll go inside, then we'll come and we'll see.
No, like each auditorium, they have its own description.
Madan, see here is the painting. See, come, this is sculpts. See these sculpts. See the majesty here. Who will carve like this, man? It's a natural. Hey, guys, come this side. We have some more pathway going inside. Come.
These animals, all the animals. If you see there, one guy is hunting the wild pig.
Okay.
Can you see this pig?
Yeah, the pig I am seeing. Yes, correct. This looks like a chicken. But I strongly think this warrior type of things, or maybe like even younger. There's a story like they have linked it with the beam. That the beam came and
That's how it became famous. That story is also necessary.
अनेक तलवार हिरन है, इस साइड में पेड़ की डालियाँ हैं, छोटे छोटे जानवर भी हैं, भेड़ी, चूहा, पेंटिंग जंगली सुअर तो ज़्यादा था ना। हाँ